Now, these are going to go back in there and they're going to be secured by that and that. And the reason that I'm showing you is because these two bolts are going to be going into, ham-fisted, small length of aluminium. Okay, so these two bolts are going to go into there. The reason that I bring that up is because of the torque wrench setting. I'm a huge fan of going to the manual, getting the torque setting, getting the torque wrench out, torquing it up, and knowing that it is right from that moment on. So that's fastened on by those two. We've just got to fasten this banjo back on. We're going to put another new sealing washer either side of this banjo union. That sounds so much like a song, doesn't it, hey? Torque wrench. Always store these with no tension on them at all. Foot-pounds on the front and Newton meters on the back. Okay, let's go into the factory setting of 27. Okay. Just here. This is your brake master cylinder. These two screws here want to break. They always want to break. They always want to round off. The reason that I didn't film me doing this is because I wanted to give it my full concentration. These two little screws that hold this cover on are a nightmare of pain for you if you get them rounded. I didn't. I focused. Pop you over here. I'll show you those two little screws. There they are. They want to break. They want to round off. They want to do all sorts of things. There's your plastic cover, and then there's a rubber bellows underneath. That all comes out and gets stored somewhere nice and clean. So we're going to fill that up with brake fluid, and we're going to pump that brake fluid right down until it comes out of this lead nipple, and the same on the other side, without any air bubbles in it. As I'm sure you know, air can be compressed. Air is bouncy and squanchy, and we don't want that in a brake system. We want no air in the line at all, so that when you pull the brake on, you're pushing fluid into those two pistons that we just replaced, not air, because then the air will compress rather than the piston move, applying the brakes. I've filled a syringe with brake fluid and I'm going to backfill it. So instead of filling the top reservoir with fluid and then trying to force it down, I am filling the caliper directly with brake fluid, and we're filling it from the bottom. And if my gorgeous assistant can come and have a look at this brake reservoir just here, she'll see that there are air bubbles popping up out of it. As I force fluid back up the system. So we did the same on the other side. Katie had got tired of filming it, so we just did the one side. And I'm starting to get some feel on the brakes. Not much. Where are we? There you go. It's still going all the way in, which is, it's not done yet. So now I can start conventional bleeding at the bottom end to see if I can get some air bubbles out. What I'm going to do first is go and get some lunch. And I've found no end of times just sitting and letting brakes sit open to the atmosphere like that. Remember, we're trying to get rid of air, and remember that air rises. So just giving that fluid the opportunity to allow any air bubbles in the system to rise up just for a few minutes while I have lunch can pay dividends. I can feel that getting firmer in my hand by the minute. Never thought I'd say that on a video again. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze, hold it on, release. Bit annoying because I can't see any bubbles coming out. So what we'll do is we'll do the other side. Okay, so squeeze the brake, release the nipple, tighten the nipple. I'm happy with that. There's enough feel on that brake. I'll stick some more in there. Okay. Just got a little bit of frothiness at the top there. But that doesn't matter, like I say, right, it's not open to atmosphere, but the bellows will sort that out. There's that cap warning me that only dot 4 should be used. There are my 2 little screws. Now there's a reason that I'm doing these up like this before turning the steering. In order to tighten these really tight, I've got to turn the steering, and when I do turn the steering, that's then pointing downhill and can leak out. I'll show you what I mean. Let's tighten you up. Not super tight, just a little bit. That's okay. Let's tighten that up. Can't tighten the other one. Right, but watch. When I move that now, because of the angle of those, because of the angle of the steering, that's now downhill. An opportunity to leak out. Right, so that's it. Let's take it off the main stand. Ooh, squeaky. New tyres. That's just brand new tyres on concrete, just don't get worried. Okay, happy with that. If I've saved you some head scratching or saved you some money, do the decent thing and subscribe. Thanks a lot. I'm doing chain next. Not today, maybe tomorrow.